All right, the first thing we're going to do is grade your homework. So please take your homework out and a grading pen, push pause until you have all those things ready, and then hit play. All right, here we go. So the first section, they wanted us to erase and replace a 2 for x. 2 plus 4 equals 6. Number 2, they wanted us to stick a 9 in for x. 9 minus 8 equals 1. Number 3, they wanted us to stick a 3 in. 2 times 3 plus 2. 6 plus 2 equals 8. Number 4, we're going to stick a 6 in. 2 times 6 minus 5. 12 minus 5 equals 7. Number 5, we're going to stick a negative 7 in. 3 times negative 7 plus 6. Negative 21 plus 6. Different signs, find the difference, then think bigger. Negative 15. Number 6, I'm going to stick an 8 in. 8 times 3 minus, I can't read that. It says 10. 3 times 8 minus 10. 24 minus 10 equals 14. Number 7, I'm going to stick a negative 5 in. 4 times negative 5 plus 2. Negative 20 plus 2. Different signs, find the difference, then think bigger. Answer is negative 18. I'm going to stick a negative 3 in for x. Negative 4 times negative 3 minus 4. 2 negatives make a positive. Positive 12 minus 4 equals 8. Okay, last question, number 9 in the section. I'm going to stick a negative 4 in. So I have a negative 5 times a negative 4 minus 3. 2 negatives make a positive, so I have positive 20 minus 3. The answer is 17. All right, let's go to our table. Number 10. So the numbers that I would like us to pick were negative 1. Negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. You could pick other numbers, but these are the ones that I wanted us to pick so that we would all have the same work and the same answers. So now I'm going to erase and replace x. Negative 1 plus 7, 0 plus 7, 1 plus 7, 2 plus 7. Positive 6, positive 7, positive 8, positive 9. Then I see the directions want me to state the domain and the range. This is the domain. You can't really see that. And this is the range. So I write domain equals brackets negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. Range equals brackets 6, 7, 8, 9 because we want them to go least to greatest. Question 11. Negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. I'm going to erase x and replace it with the numbers I just picked. Negative 1 minus 13, 0 minus 13, 1 minus 13, 2 minus 13, negative 14, negative 13, negative 12, and negative 11. The domain, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2 again. The range are our answers. Negative 14, negative 13, negative 12, negative 11. If you make the numbers you're picking go from least to greatest, then your answers will naturally be, well, I think they will be. Maybe they won't always be least to greatest. All right, question 12. I'm going to pick negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. I'm going to erase and replace x. 2 times whatever number I pick plus 8. So I'm going to do 2 times negative 1 plus 8. 2 times 0 plus 8. 2 times 1 plus 8. 2 times 2 plus 8. 2 times negative 1 is a negative 2 plus 8. Even though I could probably do that in my head, I like seeing it because now I can see that I have different signs and I can see who's bigger. So the answer is 6, and it's going to be a positive 6. 0 plus 8 I can do in my head. 2 plus 8, 4 plus 8. Domain, -1, 0, 1, and 2. The range, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, question 13. All right, I picked the same numbers again. 2 times -1 is -2. -2 minus 3. I like seeing it written out when I have negatives because I feel like I might make a mistake in my head. Same signs, find the sum, then think bigger. 2 times 0 minus 3 is -3. 2 times 1 is 2 minus 3. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 minus 3. My domain are the numbers that I picked. My range are my answers, least to greatest. All right, let's do question 14. So I'm going to do 3 times -1, which is -3, plus 4. Different signs, find the difference, then think bigger, it's +1. 3 times 0 is 0 plus 4. This makes 3. 3 plus 4. This makes 6. 6 plus 4. Domain is all the numbers that we picked. Range is all of our answers. All right, question 15. All right, so I still have to do order of operations, so I'm going to have to multiply back here. Then I'm going to have to do 7 minus that answer. So this answer is a -3. Then I still have the subtraction sign and the 7. Do you see how writing it out is really important because we might not have realized there were 2 minuses touching. So the 2 minuses touching become a plus sign. 7 plus 3 is 10. The rest of these should be a little easier. 7 minus the answer to 3 times 0. 7 minus the answer to 3 times 1. 7 minus the answer to 3 times 2. So 7, 4, and 1. All right, as I was writing the range out, I started here and went down and realized I had to go backwards because it's least to greatest. So I had to put 1, 4, 7, 10. 1, 4, 7, 10. All right, let's do the next one, 16. All right, 4 times -1 is a -4. -4 plus 5 is +1. 0 plus 5, 4 plus 5, 8 plus 5. The domain are the numbers we picked, and the range are our answers. All right, let's do 17. I think I'll go ahead and do 17 and 18 at the same time. All right, here's our answers for 17 and 18. Check your work, count up how many you missed, bring your paper directly to me so I can have your homework. All right, now you need to get your notes out, 5-3C, and you need to get graph paper out. If you don't have very much graph paper in your binder, then go to the cupboard and get a stack of graph paper and load it up. Push play when you're ready. All right, let's start the notes. So we are doing what we did yesterday. We're going to take this equation and we're going to make a table. But how it's different is then we have one extra step. Then we're going to graph the dots and connect them to make a line. We did graphing dots earlier, remember, in ordered pairs. So if I have 2, -6, that means that I go sideways to 2 and I go down to -6 and I put a dot. We had a quiz about how to graph dots. So today's lesson is taking 2 things you know how to do, equation to table, then taking the table and making ordered pairs out of them so you can graph them. Okay, so let's choose this first one. So what do we want to pick? Negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. Same thing we've been picking before. We're going to erase and replace this x. 2 times x plus 1. 2 times negative 1 plus 1. 2 times 0 plus 1. 2 times 1 plus 1. 2 times 2 plus 1. The first one, I get a negative 2 plus 1. I think it's better to see it written out. So now I can say different signs, find the difference, then think bigger. 2 times 0 plus 1. 2 times 1 is 2. I get 3 as an answer. 4 plus 1, I get 5 as an answer. Now let's go to our graph paper. We're going to take each of these and they become an ordered pair. If you like to see it as an ordered pair, let's write negative 1, negative 1, 0, 1. I'm getting that from the x and the y. The x and the y. My next ordered pair is 1, 3, 2, 5. So now I'm going to take those. Now, if you just look at the table, you don't have to write them as ordered pair, but if it helps you to see them as an ordered pair, then I think you should do that. All right, so I'm going to put a dot at negative 1, negative 1. A dot at 0, 1. Over 1, up 3. Over 2, up 5. If your dots do not make a straight line, like let's say you somehow thought this dot was right here, and now they don't make a straight line, they make a curvy line, a crooked line, then this will help you to know that that was the wrong, if all 3 of these are lining up, then this was probably the one that was wrong. So it should self-grade. This homework should, if it doesn't make a line, you did it wrong and you need to fix it. Now I'm going to connect the dots and add arrows to the end. You don't need to pull out a ruler unless you just want to. My older daughter could not stand to draw an imperfect line, so every time she did this homework, she pulled out a ruler. All right, let's look at example 2. Okay, we're going to pick negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. We're going to erase and replace. So tell me, I'm going to stop the video, and I want you to put in figure out your answers for y, then push play and see if you were correct. The video is not going to stop on its own. This is up to you to push stop and start. You should have gotten negative 9, negative 8, negative 7, and negative 6. So look at my work. These are the numbers I picked, and then we're subtracting 8. Now we need to graph it. So go to your graph paper, and you're going to need to make another table. You're going to another x and y axis. So I'm going to erase my first one. I need a dot at sideways to negative 1, down to negative 9. Sideways 0, down to negative 8. Sideways 1, down to negative 7. Sideways 2, down to negative 6. Connect with arrows. All right, example 3. Stick in your negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. Pause the video. See if you get the same y's that I get. All right, before I show you the answers, as I was working this out, I thought, ooh, this is a really tricky one. I am replacing x, but I am not replacing this negative sign. So this negative sign is out here, and inside of the parentheses is going to be a negative 1, a 0, a positive 1, and a positive 2. So if you didn't do this, pause the video, erase, and try to get the y's to be correct. Okay, so a negative negative 1 becomes a normal 1. 1 plus 2 makes 3. Negative 0 is just 0. 0 plus 2. Negative 1 plus 2 is positive 1 because different signs find the difference, then think bigger. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. Now we're going to go over and graph our answers. So I'm going to erase this. You need to create another X and Y axis on your graph paper. Every homework question needs its own set of X and Y axes. All right, so I'm going to go sideways to negative 1 up to 3. Then I'm going to go sideways 0 up to 2. I'm going to go sideways 1 up to 1. I'm going to go sideways 2 up to 0. Connect, add arrows. Okay, number 4. This time I want you to pick numbers that are easy to take a half of. So let's pick negative 2, let's pick 0, let's pick 2, and let's pick 4. Let's pick even numbers because then I don't get any decimals. So 1/2 of a negative 2. That is negative 1. Then I still have this minus 3. So negative 1 minus 3, same signs, find the sum, then think bigger. Let's do half of nothing. Half of 0 is 0 minus 3. Half of 2 is 1. 1 minus 3. And half of 4 is 2. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Now we're going to go and graph them. This time hit pause on the video, try graphing it by yourself, and see if your picture matches my picture. Okay, there's my dots. I went sideways to negative 2 and down to negative 4. Sideways nothing, down to negative 3. Sideways to positive 2, down to negative 2. Sideways to 4, down to negative 1. Connect with arrows. If you only give me dots and you don't connect with arrows, then you haven't actually given me the answer. The answer is not the dots. The answer is the line. And the line goes on forever if you include these arrows, because technically somebody could have picked a negative 4, or they could have picked a negative 6, or they could have picked negative 8, or they could have picked negative 10. And that's all part of that same line. Or they could have come up here and picked 6 or 8 or positive 10. All of that is on the same line. So if somebody has the black section, it's the same as the blue section. If someone has the blue section, it's the same as the green section. The line goes forever and ever and ever. These dots are not the only dots. All of these dots are correct, which means we need the entire line, or we need arrows, and the line is the answer. Okay, you are ready to start your homework.